Joining me now, Adam Klasfeld, fellow at Just Security. He was in the New York courtroom all week. Adam, great to see you. Thanks for being here. Since you've been inside the courtroom, what's your sense of how the case is going?
The case got started off with a bang with the testimony of David Pecker, because David Pecker really gave the case a wide-angle lens. We've been hearing about the hush money scheme. We've been hearing about Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. But with David Pecker's testimony, what we got was a wide-angle lens of a spectrum of ways that Donald Trump and the National Enquirer's corporate parent had joined forces, in David Pecker's words, to be the eyes and ears of the campaign, to send stories puffing up Donald Trump to supermarket checkout stands across America, to attack Donald Trump's rivals, and to find out if there were, in Pecker's words, women selling stories, and then silencing those women. And so it takes the case from the keyhole view of, yes, there are falsified records, the prosecutors argue, that were correlated with these Stormy Daniels payments, to a larger spectrum of what they describe as a corruption of the 2016 presidential election.
So Adam, here's how Trump describes the trial. Listen.
It's a rigged trial, terrible. But we're doing very well in this rigged trial. Everybody knows that the case is over. You heard what was said, and the case should be over.
Adam, who exactly has said the case should be over?
Well, there hasn't been any legal scholar that has been really saying it quite the way Trump has right there. These press conferences, they happen every morning, and there's a very marked difference between Trump's demeanor outside the court in clippings like the ones you just showed, and what you see in the courtroom. There have been reports, of course, of Trump nodding off. There have been reports of course, and I saw at one moment, we're now on to the third witness. After the second witness, Rona Graff, when her testimony had finished, he sort of lunged out of his chair to shake her hand, which, of course, you are not supposed to do as a criminal defendant. And if you look very closely at the transcript, it says at that moment, the audience couldn't hear it, but the court reporter did, "Are you okay?" And so there's a kind of impression that there may be an impression that he's trying to put forward to the jury as the witnesses and their testimony.
So then, Adam, how is the jury responding to Trump's antics inside the courtroom and the witnesses so far?
Well, Jonathan, they're all business. And I'll give you one example. The jurors, when they file into court every morning, they are passing Trump by a couple of feet away. It's not very large of a courtroom, especially in the well. And their eyes are, for the most part, fixed right forward. And we've seen this throughout the trial. There was a moment where the judge had asked them if they had writing materials. And the folks who no one did and asked if they wanted it, their hands all shot up, and they've been taking notes. They're very intently scrutinizing the evidence on both sides. They're listening to cross-examination, they're listening to direct examination, and they're jotting down notes. They want to remember things when we get to deliberations. So they're treating it with the professionalism you would expect of a trial of this magnitude.
One more question for you, Adam. One of my guests yesterday, Renato Mariotti, said he believes Judge Merchan is using the threat of a gag order ruling to force Trump's lawyers to rein him in. What do you think?
I think that's very sharp analysis. And one of the things that I always mention is that Trump has already faced consequences even before any ruling has taken place, because we, the public, and Trump's legal team did not find out who the first witness was until the day before trial. And that's because the judge made very clear that he believed, and the DA's office believed, that he couldn't be trusted with the names because he goes and attacks witnesses in the prosecutor's claims on social media. So there was that fear, and that fear has been addressed by the judge taking that sanction.